Y'all got a little show, but whoever was on the live stream missed out. Yeah. So I was just so ready, you know. And these lights are bright. You can't hear. They're so bright. But yeah, my name is Juice. Juice Box of Paradise. Welcome. Happy Black History Month. Um, I'm excited to be here with y'all. I'm excited for our feature tonight. We got the wonderful Carrie Joy. It's gonna be a great time. This is my daughter Chella. She'll be helping me host. And we got a great list of people who signed up for the open mic. If you want to read, if you want to rap, if you want to sing, if you want to do something, and you haven't signed up yet, be sure that you see me or Chella for the list. A couple things to know: you're being recorded, as you see. There's cameras. This is being live streamed to a couple different places. We got Facebook, Instagram. You know, we could kind of say whatever we want, but for the TV show that this is being recorded for, if you cuss, you might like too much, you might get like chopped from the edit. You know, but if you don't want to be recorded at all, if you don't want to be included at all, just let us know that. We can stop the cameras. If you want a recording of what you do afterwards, let us know that. We can send you to the website, sacred-voices.org, and you can sign up to have that like sent straight to your Google Drive. We'll do a 5-minute timer. If you see me like just stand up from my chair and walk over, that'll just be my way of like giving a little friendly like, hey, time's wrapping up. And if we have more time at the end, we could always go longer. Before we get on to our feature. But without further ado, I think it's time to get started, and I'm gonna get a drink of water. While we do that, Chella, do you want to choose a name that we could introduce from the list?
Charlie.
Let's welcome up Charlie.
What up, what up, what up? Ah, come on, y'all. Wake up. Let's go. There we go. There we go. So my name is Charlie El Colibri MC. I'm a Denver native. I do this as like a free-for-all. It's like a side gig to a side gig of another side gig, if you catch my drift. Yep, I got to get income somehow. But anyways, yeah, if you like what you see or hear, I should say hear, yeah, just follow me on Instagram. That's where I post all my stuff. It's Aztec King 365, all conjoined, lowercase. Anywho, let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna just do two. This one comes from my most recent chapbook that I just published by myself. Yeah, which I'm selling copies if people want some. Yeah, I still got some. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to clear out so I can order the next shipment. Yeah. Anyway, apologize. Verb. To express regret for something that one has done wrong. It's a uniquely fancy way of saying sorry for messing up, for causing harm to somebody else. You know, pre-K stuff where parents who raise their kids correctly will recognize it ain't weak to apologize. But I digress from stating obvious facts. As a colibri master of continental disasters, I'm that bioengineered beast of darkness that shines brighter than all the evil-eyed pontiffs that sit leering at me from their ivory abbeys. I will not apologize for being me. I will not be regretful for being brown. I will not feel sorry for the uncomfortable feelings you get when I spread out my wings and spit some truthful shit. I'm the chemical mishap of an age of inquisitions and greedy tendencies where my skin and soul lay bare in a patchwork harmony that you call a travesty, since it's not right for me to have a whiter complexion. Let's speak that dirty guttural noises that are so deep and primal you can feel the R's roll in the back of your ancestors' stolen mausoleums, handcrafted by the bone meal of my own ancestors that were kept clean with the blood that drips off of our foreheads. I will not be sorry for being a successful failure of your founding fathers' wet dream epiphany, built to take the brunt of what physical labor means, to not say a single misplaced word. I don't regret a single word that I have, that I will say. My words cut through all the red, white, and KKK clan tapestries you try to use to cover me in premature burial, unknowing, forgetting that my people are one with the trees and the wind, the desert loraxes of the mountain plains that feed off of brimstone and ash. Hasta le puedo cambiar al lado del cassette el lado B de mis discos rayado de la vida, ponerle de reversa a mi lírica que vive en forma de MP3, donde mis rimas suenan como balas de acero inoxidables penetrando el aire, porque sin verdades, sin filtración, son mis letras nacidas de mi mente que hacen hasta la tierra temblar fuerte. Porque lo que es más espantoso, lo que es más aterrorizante, lo que inspira esos cuentos de monstruos que los papaces blanquitos les cuentan a sus niñitos, es el rostro de un bárbaro como yo, que con cada suspiro que tomo, I can spit words that are toxic and corrosive to your steel chain link fishnets you try to use to defend your bigotry, since you have that one token friend who sounds like me, para disculpar tu retórica tan necia sobre como todo el mundo no tiene la misma blanquez como tú. Apologize. To express regret for something that one has done wrong. I will not apologize for being me. I will not be regretful for being brown. I will not feel sorry for making you feel uncomfortable when I get to spread out my colibri wings up and down. Yeah, so as y'all can tell, I kind of write stuff. Yeah, you know. Anyway, last one. Well, last one for this bit, I should say. This one I just recently wrote, actually a couple weeks back. I was like feeling some type of way because February brings up a lot of feelings for myself. Yeah, I know it's Valentine's Day and all that, but you know, there's a flip side. There's love, but there's also, you know, some other feelings that happen. Anyway, shit, here we go again. Whenever I take some time to tie loose ends, I get to see how frizzy my actual personality is. Static, haphazard, uneven cuts from the ghetto cloth that raised me to be the colibri you see. With great wisdom and charm, I recognize the familiar pull of the dark recesses of my mind where intrusive thoughts roam free as a delicately placed bargain where I can stay somewhat functional but not need to worry about small fry lies and self-inflicting wounds that never truly heal up, no matter how much duct tape you use. My tattered cover exterior shows its true seams as the patchwork bleeds. With all the colors of the rainbow, a Disney nightmare where I'm free on a land with a ship crewed by me, myself, and all the other random disembodied voices that run this circus show. Electromagnetic impulses, I can feel the goosebumps climb up and down my body as I can already tell when my shadows want to take full wheel and spin me around town through recognizable cobblestone paths that reek of dried iron, rusted chains that hold ever so tightly to dreams and hopes of other visitors turned victims for a lonely road. Some travel seasonally for the sights, but others get too close for comforts and turn into nightmarish frights.
All right, let's hear it for Charlie one more time. Yeah. Charlie Khalib. And who are we calling up next, Chella?
Matthew.
Matthew.
Hey everyone. Just for the record, I'm very uncomfortable and that's why I'm up here. Where's my book? Oh Matthew, who are you? Oh Matthew, who associates with being so blue. Oh Matthew, you say you want to start anew, so you set out to uncover the imposter and you change your name to Acharapa. Yet it feels like you're living a double life. Where is the truth and where are the deep-seated lies? You say you're living intentionally under a new name, so why do you still point all of your blame, holding on to your shame? Oh, Matthew, no need to change your identity or live as a separate entity. It has always been you. Stop the double life and merge the two. You're a creator. Share your work of art. You're an integrator, allowing and accepting experiential understanding. When you interact with others, you have a special glow in your eyes, allowing this to occur without the mind's perceived disguise. Let go of the insecurities, they were fed through the lies, tied to the darkness, yet the awareness will teach you how to be more wise. Be the sound of silence, you've traveled miles for this remembrance. Don't move so fast, don't move too slow, flow with the arrow that leaves the bow. In tune with the trees and buzzing of the bees, deepen your respect and come down to your knees. Unclench your fists, this will lead you to bliss. I understand your father never gave you a kiss. Learn to nurture your child, spice it up, stop living so mild. What is your flavor? Will it do the world a favor? How will your flavor blend? Will it mend or tend to a broken heart? Maybe it's what's needed to ignite a spark. Explore this and you might come to a realization that you adore this. Don't you want to live as a unified nation? Your medicine is needed. Let it be told through your soul's emanation. Matthew, you're where you need to be. Close your eyes, focus your chi, merge your two worlds and come back to thee. Your key to success is to release the imposed distress. Speak your mantra, asking support from Pachamama. I am me. I am free. I merge my two worlds so I may just be. Just be. Just be. The authentic me. Cool. So even with all that intuition and feeling connected and on the right path, you know, nothing in life is permanent, and it's kind of, you have to, like muscles, you know, you lose muscle after if you don't work out, so you gotta practice and practice, and it's like a lifelong journey. So this is another one I wrote, kind of going back and forth of being connected, falling back, being connected, falling back. It's called Firelights. Light the fire on the inside. Let me be the wood to burn all night, all day. The accountability for stability. A delicate dance, allow it to enhance its medicine trance. Feel the wind through my hair and the ashes in my face. I know I've come to the right place. Feel the wind through my hair and the ashes in my face. I relax into that space. Between thoughts and the thoughtless. Is this true wholeness, or is my ego showing off its boldness? Between light and dark, now who holds the spark? How do I know if I'm being pulled apart or coming from my heart? No one ever told me I'm a beautiful work of art. Hey, thank you for being here. I see your struggle, I see your pain, but no one here is to blame. Try and dry those tears and release those fears. Step away from those one-sided mirrors. I feel this truth as it makes a buzzing in my tooth, but yet it doesn't resonate. I don't want this hate, get it all off my plate, but I'm here having another taste. Ugh, this tastes horrid, almost morbid, how I just want to melt away. I don't want this sensation, this is not my salvation. How do I break free from this self-intoxication? Throw your pain into me, just let it be. I will help you to break free. My medicine is powerful as the medicine you share with another. It is the love in a hug and all the way down to a bug who graces your skin with this gentle remembering. Love is the fire that burns so bright, taking away all the pain out of sight. Let it in, let it be. This love light will always be a part of thee.
Keep it going. All right. Yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention earlier that you could find Charlie at Aztec King 365. Is there an underscore on that? No, Aztec King 365 on social media. You can find Matthew at heart_concentric on Instagram. And next up, we're gonna bring up Chelsea West from the 80219. Yeah, give it up.
Hey everyone. I'm just going to read one today. I appreciate being here with you all you beautiful people. There's nothing more or less you can do. Let me start over. Hold on. There's nothing more or less you can do. It'll be over. In 10 years, you'll look back and barely remember. Find ways to have excitement outside of your job, outside of playing games, outside of messing with my mind, outside of wasting my time, outside of turning me into a heartless, dried up rind, outside of all of this. No one needs this anymore. I thought we just needed growth, but there's nothing more or less you can do. It'll all be over soon. I'm bleeding my love out. There's a cut, an artery is bleeding out. Every time I hear this, I can just tell, and you haven't treated me like that in years. My dear, these fears escape me, but the I love you from my lips will never betray me. I forgot what it felt like to be treated like that. And by now, you and I have to witness this in front of my face. It's got to change like today. Friends is friends, but I'm done with this. It's a means to an end. It's absolute torture. You're cutting me, choosing her blade. You're ruining our life. Trying you and me. She's trying you and me. And maybe soon against each other. I'm not your everything anymore. Now you're committed to this obsession. But I'm cutting myself out of the image. This is killing me daily, but an epiphany. I'm so sick of being human. I wish I was water again. Just water. But if I was water, I couldn't eat this pizza. So I guess there are some advantages. But I'm freaking tired of being in this body and having to pay taxes and having to buy gas and having to go to work and having to be a human and having to participate in capitalism. I didn't want any of this. I didn't know it was going to be like this when I showed up, and I'm over it. When I'm stuck in this brain, when I'm stuck in this body, when I'm stuck in this ego, when I'm stuck in this pain, the only thing you can take from me is notes.
Thank you very much. Ooh, that's loud. You can find Chelsea at yourfriend_Chels on Instagram. And speaking of which, please be sure to check out Sacred Voices on Instagram at Sacred Voices Denver, on TikTok, Sacred_Voices. You can't find me on any of the social medias. I do not have them. So if you want to keep contact with me, you got to get my email and my phone number. But somebody who you can follow and who you should follow is Dr. Lizzie. And you can follow them at Dr. Lizzie Lois on the social medias. But I'm so excited to hear what they got for us today.
I come from a people of words, from Negro spirituals sung in the cotton fields deep in the Carolinas that harnessed the power to endure a slave master's whip. From gospel songs like the ones Mommy sang to keep from giving up. From the blues deferred Daddy sang beneath his alcoholic breath. From civil rights marchers keeping eyes on the prize, and Black Panthers saying it loud, I'm black and I'm proud, to Ferguson marchers with their hands up. I come from a people refusing to stop believing in a country that does not wholly embrace them as part. Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties, above the fruited plain. America, America. As an African American, I recognize and embrace a generational obligation and social challenge to document history. I come from a place where words have had to be enough. So my commitment to my craft stems from a deeply rooted resolve that writing sustains life. And as Marshall Boteau put it, every word written is a victory against death. When I couldn't afford food or bus fare, I could still write. From scribbling words on church programs and brown paper towels to journaling and showing up for open mics, writing sustains me. I survived the ravages of New York City streets by writing. I wrote my way through custody battles, sporadic homelessness, and emotional despair. I write through living hells. As I move forward, I share my writing as an offering to help others experience writing as a vehicle of hope and an instrument to gather enough courage to face everyday challenges in life. I write to transcend disenfranchisement, and writing continues to sustain me. So I understand voice as an immutable force that propels forward an otherwise tentative history. As an African American poet writer, I have a passion and a duty to unfurl a poetic blood-stained banner engraved with cultural markers with a literary imprint of the African American urban experience of my world and psyche as a microcosm of a people restrained by invisible chains to join the ancestral canon of voices and hopefully make a living as a writer. By bearing down my creative nonfiction poetic pen and write out of a commitment to tradition, heritage of resurrection, and resolve to survive. And then, with the hope of an audience, lift those words up from the page, a testimony, an offering under the same sky as my ancestors. Words have always been a lot to me. Creating Under the Same Sky, a poetic revival, was a journey of collecting words through the oral tradition to shape them on page so I could lift them up off the page in performance. Oh, sweet. So sweet deliverance. Oh, sweet, so sweet deliverance. Oh, bitter conviction, but so sweet this deliverance. I can taste sweet deliverance in the tears that trickle down my cheek, rolling off my lip, dripping into my mouth. Tears with the taste of salvation, and emotional sweat with the flavor of redemption. Sweet deliverance. Looking at myself, the mess I have made, I am broken. Humbled in the face of God, I'm smalled in his presence. Reaching down into the pit of my habitual sin, the Lord brought me out, lifted me up out of the abyss. I could not see the walls, stay with my illusions, scarred by my attempts to be my own God, cracked by strange efforts to free myself. I want to just close my eyes and not see the mess I have made. But God's voice says, behold and know when not to return. Now it's sweet. Oh, sweet. It's such a sweet deliverance. It's oh so sweet. It's such a sweet deliverance. It's so sweet. Sweet deliverance.
Thank you, Dr. Lizzie. Um, we are the primary sources, y'all. Uh, the textbooks, the newspapers, everything will not be recorded in history correctly. We have to keep writing. Y'all have to keep writing. And I want to encourage y'all to invite the young people out to this open mic. There's a lot of older folks here tonight, and that does tend to be the case most times with this open mic. But Sacred Voices is a youth-facing organization, and we love to hear from the youth as our primary sources of today and of tomorrow and of yesterday. So bring them out. And speaking of the young people, who are we inviting up, Jill? Can you read it?
No.
No? Try. No? Okay. She chose Melina Somoza. Oh. Okay. All right, then. Let's go with Nello. Yeah. Welcome. Bring him up. Do you need a plug in? You need to plug your phone in or anything? No. Yeah, okay. It says music artist.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a poem now. What's up, everybody? I'm Nello. I'm a music artist, but I like to do poetry sometimes too. So, in a rare opportunity like this, I'm gonna read a poem. This poem is about a church mother. If anybody's been to a black church or knows the black church tradition, you know what a mother is. It's not your actual mother, but it's a mother to you in the religious space. Okay. Every Sunday, mother asked me for a poem. Not my birth mother or stepmother, a mother of the church. One Sunday she asked, "Where is my poem?" I laugh and I say to her, "Next Sunday, mother." She used to smack her lips, give me that, "Nigga, please look," and jokingly say, "All right, now I'm gonna hold you to it." This time, she gently looks in my eyes, smirks at me, and tilts her head forward while saying, "By God's grace, I'm here next Sunday." I could feel the honesty in her remark. I imagine next Sunday without mother there, an empty seat at the end of a wooden pew, approximately 3 rows back from the pulpit, one less church hat in what used to be a sea of the most elegant head coverings. Next Sunday wouldn't be the same without mother there. I should write that poem, and I bet that mother would read it to God if she gets to heaven next Sunday.
Thank you, Nello. gr.nello on Instagram. Cool. Yeah, be sure to give him a follow. And let's welcome up Angela Hummel. Is that how you say it? Yeah, Angela Hummel. Welcome him up. Yeah, bring him up.
This poem is called Greening. If your writing were a building, what would the design be? What is the shape of your writing? Stephen asked us. Chaco Canyon, she replied. It represents circular, communal thinking rather than the linear thinking of the colonizers. Chaco Canyon, where they built their homes and community into circles. Circles carved into rock. In seconds, she gave me a new perspective. Circles within circles shifted my writing, my life, my living. I'd been waiting to think in circles. I began to see the ways I'd always thought in circles. It begins with a question about grace. I started wondering what it is. Do we really understand what we're talking about when we talk about grace? People talk about it all the time like they know what they're saying. I often talk about it like I know what I'm talking about, but I don't. Not really. I'd been working on a series of paintings and poems where I had been exploring who or what God is, if God is God. Another word we throw around without knowing what we mean. Each painting had taken me deeper and deeper into the question, not giving me answers, but helping me find a way to be. I ended up swimming in love, seeing it all around me, Love became my word, my reality, replacing the word God. Each stroke bringing me into who and how love is, and then more questions surfaced. One question in particular kept bringing me up, gasping for air, wondering, what is grace? Begin by creating space. Look at grace as if for the first time. Forget using your mind. They say we only use 10% of our brains. That only ever made me wonder, what percentage of our hearts do we use? What percentage of your heart do you use? Think with your heart. I place my mind in my heart and ask the question again, what does my heart know grace to be? What does your heart know grace to be? What can our hearts know grace to be together? Reach into knowing before words, knowing with the heart. Breathe in and out. Touch your hand tenderly to your chest. Place attention there. Move consciousness into the heart. The more I'm present here, the more presence I sense through this small doorway into the universe. Attention, the key, opening all of me into living increasingly connected to everything that is. The question becomes my prayer, the question my mantra. On the inhale, what is? On the exhale, grace. What is grace? Air moving in and out. Over and over and over again, what is grace? I repeat these words, use them as a lasso I throw around my distracting thoughts, pulling my mind into my heart. What is grace? Eyes of my heart, look into that deep place of knowing, knowing before words. What color is grace? Tell me what color your heart knows grace to be before, without words. Could you tell me without words? Would you paint the color of grace? Green. I could say it's black. My mind immediately wanted to say it's black, reasoning that black is the sum of all the colors, that it is the absence of color, a paradox that fits, but that's my busy mind wanting to be right, wanting to appear intelligent, so incredibly astute. But my heart, even more quickly, perceived green, sees green, feels green, tastes green, hears green. Green. Green's never been my favorite color, so where is this green coming from? Silence surfaces the answer. A whisper in my heart. Hildegard, Veritas, greening. She constantly referred to the fundamental creative power of the life force as greenness. This radiating green vitality, Veritas, shining through and from the structures of the world, in the juice of each single organism. In the juice of each single organism. In the juice of each, the juice, juiciness, juicy, green. It began as a question leading into other questions, a question about grace. I was thinking about you. I'm always thinking about you, wondering if you are what you are, trying to know you, to paint your essence, working out ideas on canvas, into the paint, back and forth, moving through understanding with acrylics, abstracting color in line. If you exist, you are love. Love that is greater than any one person or institution can contain or articulate. They all tend to focus on who has you and who doesn't have you, yet all have some rightness and they all have some wrongness, and none of us can possess you. When we hold love, really hold you, we're clutching reality beyond comprehension, holding and being held by all of you, not grasping a fraction of you, weaving in and out of so many facets of love. The question emerged, what then is grace? If this is how vast love is, what is grace? Thanks.
Thank you, Angela. You can find more Angela's work on social medias at Art Theologian. And we are going to continue it rolling. We're going to welcome up Fernando Gomez. Fernando Gomez.
Hello, everyone. I'm Fernando Gomez, and I was not born a kind person. Now, that's a serious concern for most everyone, but, someone who studied philosophy and, has a blossoming relationship and has a kid who, you're trying to teach him right or wrong, it can be quite devastating. But I believe kindness can be brought about through intelligence, and this is how I learned that. So it all started with the sounds of bones breaking, a white flash, a sharp ringing, and lightning shooting up the nerves of my arm until it reached the back of my skull. My mother was on the floor of our driveway, the imitation Pyrex containers filled with tamales laid next to her, cracked. Eyes wide, her pain was confused. It mouthed a suffocating moan that begged to know why it was betrayed. Pues muévete, I said, looking back. Not knowing telling her just move would chain those two words to my memory. It was 3:30 in the morning, and we had just returned from our annual family Christmas Eve dinner in Juarez. And she was the first and only member of her family to get a green card, so we crossed the border to celebrate with them often. I hated it. My uncles and cousins would make fun of me for not knowing proper Spanish. Hablas como un gringo, they would taunt me when I would mix English words with Spanish. They would ask me if I thought I was better than them. I was 6. I never answered them. But I knew that they knew that the answer was ultimately yes. But that's not what made me hate it. It was Christmas Eve, and tradition allowed my cousins to open all their Christmas presents once the clock struck 12. My mother wouldn't bring me any of my presents with us. We were poor. But American poor is not the same as Mexican poor. My parents were able to afford to rent a 3-bedroom home. Well, my grandfather built their home from whatever material they could find. Cardboard walls were not common when they added rooms. We don't want to show off and make them feel bad, my mother would rationale. So I stood there, paralyzed, holding my breath as the clock struck 12. A frenzy of shredded wrapping gifts, filled the living room. Laughter and surprise oohs and ahs drowned the Feliz Navidad and the Spanish-dubbed version of A Wonderful Life that played in the background. What's wrong with you, my mom asked. I replied, nada, literally biting my tongue. Then go play with your cousins and their shiny new toys. After I didn't move, she yacked me closer and whispered, pues muévete, as she pinched my arm. Pues muévete. It continues to resonate and echo in the darkest region of my being. My older brother ran to help my mom up. She yelped in pain and stayed paralyzed on the floor. She had tripped getting out of my brother's yellow Mustang, and it was my duty to help her get out of the car. My duty to hold her hand. But I didn't take her hand. The ambulance came, and they couldn't get her to stand. So we spent Christmas at the hospital. My mom broke her hip in 2 different places and almost lost her right leg as it hanged by its nervous system. It took a year for her to walk without crutches, and she never really fully recovered. She walked with a limp, and her health declined after her accident. But no one ever blamed me. As she was rushed to the hospital, the paramedics asked who was to blame. Era un accidente. It was an unfortunate accident, my mom said. The 2 white paramedics didn't believe her and accused her of being drunk. My family was shamed by the accusations, yet I stayed quiet. No one had ever asked me why I didn't take her hand. I wouldn't know how to answer, but the only thing I know is that I am to blame. The jealousy, anger, and resentment that came early that night did not help me. It wasn't in my best interest to create this shame and guilt that pushed inside of me with every tender step my mom took since that day. I hid it and saw how my mother never questioned her unfortunate accident. She protected me. I realized that I was not born with the kindness. I don't feel the same ache when a child falls and scrapes their knee, or when there's an oil spill in the Atlantic. But I learned to rationalize what must be done and what should be done. I can calculate. And the answer is kindness. So that's what's in my best interest of the world, and subsequently me. So I can protect the good. I can protect it now, even though I wasn't born with kindness. Thank you.
Thank you, Fernando. All right, Chella has chosen Safo. Yes, come on up. Yeah.
Hi guys, I'm Safo. I don't have any social media handles, so if you want to keep in touch, you can get my number. I'm just going to be doing 2 poems today. Thank you. I love her. I love her so. Without her makeup or with it, the way she holds her head with her hand, the way her shirt folds around her, her laugh. Her tousled hair I notice while I capture her image with my hands and pencil when I'm supposed to be paying attention in math class. The light dappled off her skin and I felt a clench in my chest like my heart was hungry. So sometimes I imagine holding her close, cutting myself open with my cracked nails, my blood sticking to my sides, my stomach stretching, my ribs cracking wide enough for her to fit inside me, my jaw unhinging open as muscles stretch and break to swallow her beautiful words and thoughts. And if I could, I would run my hands through her hair carefully to not tug on any knots. And I sit and I dream of holding her, until I remember her gaze is not on me, and the closest I get is when she asks me to be with her, and my leg touches hers as my hand longs to hold hers. So I cry myself to sleep, knowing I come so close, but I was so far. That was thank you. I don't like titling my work, so yeah, they're all untitled. The two-faced rat blinked in unison as it stared at my unnatural face. Their tail twitched, waiting for my answer. I took off the guise and I looked at it hopefully, waiting for it to respond, just for it to run off. I didn't blame it. So I stood, and after a time, a raven took its place. "Join us," it said. "We lay in fields of dandelions and run under soft showers of rain. We love enough to consume ourselves, and we see the beauty in our shattered porcelain. We clutch handfuls of grass and smell the trees. We see you, and we want you to join in our beauty." I stared at it. "Why share your happiness with me?" I continued. The raven gave no answer. Why? I stand in front of my mirror while my shower runs water, slowly turning hot and creating steam. I'm naked. I stare at myself, and it's hard to see past imperfections. The way my lips are thin when I smile, the way some strands of hair could be better, the way my ribs protrude under my skin, the few freckles that I just wish I could erase. And it's hard to see past imperfections. Some days I can, but most days I can't. I tilt my head. "I am beautiful," I whisper. A small breeze off of my dry, cracked lips. I choke sound. I can learn to mean it. I steady my eyes, not the wrinkles of creases around them, not the veins inside me allowing me to see, and not the thin lashes. I see my irises, brown retracting with green hints of meaning inside, the hazel reflecting a spring morning from my mother, the melting dark brown from my father, a new light and feeling that is all my own. My pupils have finally adjusted after so many years. I am beautiful. I turn towards the raven. I think I understand you now.
Commercial break from me. Hi, this is Bree. Just wanted to share some events that are coming up with Take Our Voices. In March, for Women's History Month, we're doing a film screening. The location is to be determined. Rock with me. But we're going to be watching The Edge of Each Other's Battles, a vision of Audre Lorde. If you do not know who Audre Lorde is, let's have a talk. So yeah, look on our social media for information about that coming soon. Also, if you want some workshops by us, we do that. We don't do open mics. We also do workshops. We do culturally responsive based poetry and ethnic studies workshops for grades K all the way up into college. We haven't been in the K world yet. The kindergartners are kind of scary, but we'll do it if you need us to. We just got done with a 4th grade residency workshop, so let us know. We love being in the classroom. That is it for my commercial break. Goodbye.
She's cold. Thanks for tuning in to our commercial break. That was the lovely Bree, also known as Artsy Q, the ED of Sacred Voices. And, Oh, the co-ED. I'm sorry, Aston. Don't get mad at me. Damn. All right. Let's welcome up Cole.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. You sing that a million times, then cut me out of the family line. I lost my faith at the pew when I was half of 22. I thought my grace was to save and not the hate I learned from you. They surprise baptized me at 16 because I still hadn't given in and I was living my life in sin. I've never been one to follow the crowd. I've never been one to say it aloud. I've never been the one. I've never been the wise one. I've never been the last one standing, and I am tired. I am tired, and I am retired and relearning how to be whole, revealing each and every hole in their plot. Because rainbow or not, we are not yet free. Somebody say hallelujah. I heard there are secret chords in holy notes, and Mary is pleased when you're on bended knees in the shrubbery. And if I really believe you are God, where is the rod you spared? Where is the time we shared? And it really was the smoke and the incense in the aisle. Then I talked to smile. I walked this mile. Bright in my mind, light in my hand, doing what I can. And learning how to love again takes every ounce again. And somehow, I begin. Thank you. Freedom is not made to last. It must be clawed back at every pass, and if you're not doing a part, it's time to start. Because there is heat waiting in these streets. And sometimes you define your life by one single night. American as cherry-picked pie baked in a lie, but I'm out here naked wondering why. And it's not just about your vote. We have to do everything we can to provoke the system, take the wrongs right up to the bill of the MAGA hat of the right, because I can't even go downtown without him following me around. And even in a safe space, it takes another voice. If I say run, it's because he has a gun, and it always ends up pointed at me. The barrel of a gun is a black hole when it's knocking at your door. The barrel of a gun is a black hole when it's knocking at your door. Progress is a process, and we're changing the nation. It's no mystery how history has erased me, maimed me, and changed me. Because I am the man and the woman of his dream, but I'm some kind of creation that can't stand the racism and discrimination. We would never break bread with the oppressor. Like a stainless steel wheel to the press, I will never rest, and this is what they mean when they say it's free. Because in this day and age, they leach the water from the stream and the ink from your page. So if you're lost, get behind me or get out of the way. I'm going to say it again and again. If you're lost, get behind me. It's time we break free. Thank you. If you belong on this land, raise your hand. Because too many of us have sat by and watched each other cry. Where is the gun on your hip? Where is the one from your chest? When will we ever rest if I look over and see a bullet he can never forget? And my ability surpasses my desire. my resilience on fire, lit beneath the wings of the people without paper, the master without spoons, and the mountain without her rocks. When will we ever forget? When will we have rest if I look over and see we are bereft of our people, of our freedom, of our land, of my son, and never my daughter? Where is the mess of your gun? It was at your chest and now in my son. Where is the rest of your love? Ripped through my chest, ripped through his flesh. Which one of us is really blessed? Where is the mess of your gun? It was at your chest and now in my son. Where is the rest of your clip? Not my jet. What is this mess? Where is the rest of his chest? We were blessed. Now this. So if you belong on this land, raise your fist, because too many of us are stuck like this because you have sat by and watched our children die.
Thank you, Cole. All right, we've made it all the way down the list. We had someone walk in last minute, and they're willing to share some poetry, some music with us. Let's welcome up Taylor Made.
Hey, how are y'all? Good, good. All right. I was gonna do some new stuff, but I know I don't. Okay. All right. Sometimes I feel like every love song is an ode to hip hop. Maybe it's because music was the first woman who ever kissed me. She had that 90s R&B fullness on her lips, so when we touched, I felt her TLC, and like that, I told her, I'm ready, yeah, you know, I'm ready to love you forever. Hey, love, come love me forevermore. She said, boy, you a goddamn fool. I said, yeah, a fool for you, a fool in love. And the arcana tells me that that's a good thing, means new beginnings or whatever. And I want to feel something new with you because I never knew love like this before. And now I'm lonely nevermore. She's indubitably loves me without a limit. And I love how she elongates her vowels. I loved her without a limit. So I tell her again, you love me. Especially different every time you woo me, you court me, you tease me, you please me, you school me, give me some things to think about, ignite me, you invite me, you co-write me, you love me, you like me, you incite me to chorus. Ooh. Thank you. Okay, part 2. Music's lyrics have always talked to me in quotes. It's like I watch a love language imprint from tongue to hand so effortlessly like orgasm. It's the way her words speak through me from the page. I stay breathless with her until the end of her last word. Her ministry got me breathing again, period. Got me relaxed in tensions, no cramps, period. Got me gently caressing the curvature of language once again because I have been kissed by her poetry. I form haiku and free verse to free form to thank her. She whispers, I love you. Let body stay present and sing. No need to erase your perfected depiction of the word I love how this letter feels strong even when others mistake it for L, mistake it for weak just like they do to the black boy who sings. I tell her, give me the strength to be the strongest letter in the alphabet. Love me as securely as I love myself. When capitalized, I know I'm held from top to bottom in your stanza because you love me especially different every time. Thank you. That's the end of that piece. Do I have time for one more? Okay. Hold on. Okay. This one is called I Am. I am like a rocking chair, swaying between despair and joy. On the happiest of days, the angels of my great-grandmother's arms rock me to sleep. Her grace is reassuring when I notice my momentum gets me no closer to my dreams, all the while feeling restful in my sleep. It is only when I awake that I hear the creaking of my chair, unsure if the gift of her protection spell will ever give me the courage I need to fly or be still so I can figure out what I'm made of. Some believe that I'm made from the bark of the Confederate rose because I grew up in Virginia and had to act white in the morning and pink in the afternoon before I could speak the color of red at night. This is why botany was my least favorite subject. Others believe that I am made from the bark of a different type of perennial because in full bloom they witnessed my metronome, and it made them wonder what kept me so rooted in my chair, since there are parts of my rocker that will never touch the ground. Unlike the stoop kid who never left his stoop, when my feet can't touch the ground, I am parachute. I am cheetah. I am force without contact. I am magnetism in my rocking chair. My diasporic lineal wooden collection consists of baobab, marula, whistling thorns, sycamore fig, dragon blood, and quivered trees, but I've been told that none of these could be used on me, for I am continents away from touching land that feels like a home to me. I know why a chair is not a house and a house is not a home. My emptiness has always worried me, but I am still in love with me. I said, I am still in love with me, despite the uncertainty of knowing where I am going and what I'm made of. This love seed was born in my grandmother's garden. Ida told me I'd be well within my rights to reconstruct what I'm made of. She planted the roots that created a part of me. She knew that to be made of tree meant you couldn't be hung by one. Now my wooden structure swings in defiance of the noose, its pendulum resistance to lynching. I am constructed from tailored wood. My splinters require no pinching. I am flawless. I am unique. I am like the pre-colonial days of Mozambique. I am artistique. I am a majestic empire. I am kingdom. I am empress. I am royalty. I am made from Mississippi goddamn bark. As I write this rocking chair poem, I am feeling good because to be young, gifted, and black means that sometimes the noises I make as I rock are lyricless, like the African mailman song. I am drum. I am beat. I am rhythmic and repeat. I am drum with a humming downbeat so you can feel my emotion. I am syncopate breaking free. I am black or just another nigga to some who's tired of being a mortal man. I am at the intersection of renewal and bereavement. I am off my rocker on the lowest of days, desperate to be made of refined and polished wood like mahogany. I am expensive like a Motown production and would like to know when I am going to find my way back to a home with zero corruption. I am the whiz trying to discover how to win the game without breaking the only thing I have to hold me, hold my body and soul when it feels weary. I am like a rocking chair, discovering my security to believe that if I know myself, I'm always home. Thank you.
Thank you, Taylor. We made it through the list. I'm like an hour of poetry. How y'all feel? Y'all awake? Y'all up? Y'all good? Yeah. We still got a feature for you. Yeah, we gotta get live for that. We gotta get live, right? Yeah. We gotta get live for Karen. So when I say sacred, y'all say voices. Sacred. Sacred. When I say wake up, y'all say woke up, wake up, wake up. Word. Word. Would it be okay if I share one more with y'all before we bring up Karen? Yeah? All right. Thank you. This that blood flow, that heart pump, that gun smoke, this that that cutthroat, that shit that makes you duck low. Hoping you don't get stuck though, and praying you ain't the one that a motherfucker comes for. Hiding behind anything, you gotta stay slumped low. looking for the nearest door to run for. You're calling 911, but you gotta keep it on the hush though. You're whispering for safety. Operator asking questions, you're speaking hasty, saying, can you send the police and send them right away, please? The operator says, what's the emergency you need them for? You reply, there's an active shooter in the store, there's an active shooter on campus, there's an active shooter in the crowd, there's an active shooter in the theater, there's an active shooter in the club, there's an active shooter in the mosque, there's an active shooter, there's an active shooter going crazy, please send help, I don't want him to take me. She replies, can you give me a description of their sex and their race, please? As if she didn't see him in her head when that sentence begun. There's an active shooter, and he's a white man. It seems to be a white man again and again. He's a white man with a gun. She asks, are you sure? As if she wants you to get closer, but you can tell he's a man because of his beard and his shoulders, and you can tell he's white not because of his complexion, but because whiteness was created as a possession, and he is white. In fact, this is his claim of it. He's white, and he's screaming he is not ashamed of it. He's white because whiteness is celebrated, it's taught about, and all the stains on that whiteness get covered up or blotted out. He's white because he believes himself to be. He's white because he believes whiteness is the key, his ticket of admission into the land of the free. Free because it was stolen and built on the home of the brave. Not brave as an adjective, meaning ready to face danger, pain, or warrior, but brave as a noun. A Turtle Island's indigenous warrior. The home of the brave was a land of freedom until it became a land of brave souls trying to stay free from white men with guns. It's almost as if it's in their DNA. But is it nature or is it nurture? Is it the skin they wear or the ancestral memories they bear that make it so easy to commit mass murder? It's almost as if it's in their DNA. Or it's almost as if roads get paved, towns get planned, mountains mapped, and then given the names of white men with guns. It's almost as if holidays get given. It's almost as if statues get risen. It's almost as if white men are celebrated. White men with guns are celebrated, and this is where we are here. This is where we are hundreds of years later. Even though for hundreds of years, the Braves have been saying, you'd be doing us both a favor if you took those statues down. You know, you'd be wise to change the name of your illegal town. We know your pride tells you we ask too much or that we ask a lot, but could you stop turning our oppressors into your namesakes and turning us into your mascots? Maybe we have been kept from your subpar education for so long that we are fools. Or maybe if you stop naming schools after mass murderers, you'd see less mass murder in your schools. It's just a thought. Or maybe it's a prayer. Not like your thoughts and prayers you send to the victims. You see, those are empty. If you were really thinking of them, you'd change the way your people think. You'd make it mandatory to think about the pain your ancestors caused so that you could feel the burden they have passed to you. The guilt and pain you feel isn't something to shun. You carry that the same way your ancestors carried the gun. It's called muscle memory. Our muscle memory prepares us to fight or to run because hundreds of years ago, we couldn't call 911. There was no operator asking our emergency on the other side of the phone. What would we have even said? There's a John Hawkins pillaging Sierra Leone. There's a Christopher Columbus pillaging the Taino. There's a Hernan Cortez pillaging the Aztecs. There was no one to call. We kept having to fight or to run. And when their bullets won, they just kept passing the gun to Washington, to Lincoln, to Evans, to the white mobs of Sand Creek, to the white mobs of Black Wall Street, to Unruh, to Whitman, to Stroman, to Holmes, to Crucius, to Gendron. Don't let them pass it to you. Hold the awareness of your whiteness as tight as the families of its victims wish they could hold their loved ones one last time. Hold the heaviness of whiteness so that you may know its weight, and know its weight so that you may never wish to use it as a bludgeon. Hold the power of your whiteness as a responsibility so that you may never use its power as a weapon. Take the whiteness out of your heart and hold its weight in your hands so that you are not able to take the gun when they eventually try to pass it to you. Thank you. Thank y'all. Thank y'all very much. Thank you guys for coming. I'm so excited for our next performer. Please welcome up Carrie Joy.
Oh, well, go on. What's going on, y'all? What's going on, y'all? Y'all all right? We here? Cool. Woo wee. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I'm going through some shit right now. So, for those of you that might have seen me perform in the past, my energy might be a little bit different, but it's gonna be all right. We're gonna have a good time. I just want to thank every single person. I appreciate you. Thank you. We can snap on that. I want to thank everybody for hitting the mic that did tonight. It takes a lot of courage to get behind the mic and share your heart, share your story with a bunch of people you don't even know, especially a bunch of people, you know, on TV and live streams. I don't know who's watching. You know what I'm saying? So I just want you to give yourself some love. So can we give everybody that hit this mic a round of applause? All right, let's go ahead and get into it. I got a few pieces. I'll sing a little bit. I'll rap a little bit. I'll poetize, whatever. But just for those of you that don't know me, like it was said, my name is Carrie Joy. I'm a poet, singer, songwriter. I'm an educator. I'm also kind of cold, so don't mind me. When I get a little nervous, I get a little cold, so I'm just trying to stay comfortable. You know what I'm saying? But I'm the very first poet laureate of Adams County, Colorado, and that feels pretty cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, baby me is very, very proud of Big Me right now for just believing in myself and sticking to it. You know what I'm saying? So for those of you that are struggling to believe in yourself, I just want to give you a little bit of love and encouragement right now. Just keep going. Just keep going. All right, don't stop. Just keep going. Yeah. All right. Hold on to me, 'cause I'm a little unsteady. Said hold on to me, 'cause I'm a little unsteady. I got family members that told me that they rather me dead. So I spiral on this mic about bitches that left me on red, about the shit that almost killed me. Welcome to inside my head. I had to fill it with promise, so I ain't fill it with lead. This is where I dream to be free. This is where I dream to love me. This is just where that spiritual warfare be. I battle insecurities I learned from broken niggas that preached about God, about purity, while they preyed on the meek, while they stole from the poor, and I had to work 3 jobs for heat. How I gave them my all because they said that God would bless me. They fooled me my whole life, but I chose to believe. Willing to give my soul for that blood-stained creed. Look, I accept I was played. Now I have all this rage. I'm trying not to hate who I am outside of just being saved. Now I can't trust myself. I don't believe what I say. I'm trying to bet on me, but what am I worth today? I guess I'm too hard to love. I guess my truth ain't enough. I guess I gotta lose myself for the big white man above. Fuck it all, I'm just a hypocrite. I've been trying to own up. Fuck it all, hated myself so long, I'm tired. Are we done? My ex called me a liar. Well, bitch, it take one to know one. I had to make up that shit for survival. You think I just did that for fun? Well, now I pimp pain for profit. Don't really know how to stop it. They call me brave, but the child inside is still afraid. Let's be honest. I got bills to pay through these tears, and then y'all pay me just to watch it. Ladies swear they're in love until they see me break down in private. Man, we can't handle the truth. Nah, we got too much to lose. Our sanity, our family hope, so we rather choose to agree that the bullshit is real. Maybe we just passing through. That heaven is our goal, but fam, what if heaven is in you? What if you are all God's? And what if Jesus was too? What if he just knew who he was? So maybe he started a coup, hoping that we'd come through. Greater work shall we do. But when everyone suffers, a hell is all we produce. I said, when everyone suffers, a hell is all we produce. I said, when all we know to do is suffer, a hell is all we produce. Thank you. It's a lot of, it's going to be kind of sad tonight. I'm sorry, okay? It is what it is. It might be a little sad tonight. We're going to laugh a little bit, but it is what it is. We might laugh like A fake laugh, we gonna practice it real quick. I got this, I know, right? That's weird. I have this song poem thing. It's called Pagliacci. I don't always say it right. It's an Italian word. Do y'all know what that translates into in English? Yeah, clown. So this particular poem song is for all the clowns. It's for all the folks that step on stages in front of people that they don't know and help them overcome their issues, help them see themselves a little bit better, help them feel better about themselves, whether it's through comedy or poetry or songs or whatever. So this is for all the artists that tend to step on stage. This is for you. It's called Pagliacci. It's a song. And I'm going to have y'all sing a part of it with me or practice a part of it with me. So I'm going to get back to the mic because I know they can't hear me. Give me 1 second. So I want y'all to repeat after me, okay? Say, ha 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 ha. Yes, I said it. You at home too, y'all gotta go ahead. I can hear y'all. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. All right, y'all sound all right. We're gonna be all right. All right, this is Pagliacci. I hope y'all enjoy. Yeah, can you turn the track up a little bit, please? We gotta find the muse and hide the pain. I'm amused, but I'm in pain. Look, to keep from crying, I laugh to keep from crying. Now I'm lying, I make music I confide in. I be hiding in these lyrics like I'm on an island. I ran away from the niggas that triggered me to violence. See, I got blood on my conscience and it started with my own. Can't tell you about the amount of times I wanted to go home. Not talking about East Flatbush or the Berg, I mean my soul. I mean God rest my soul. This life was getting old. I thought suffering was my only hand so I would fold. Thought I should be stoned to death for my love so I was told. So I just kept onto my lonesome like a penny roll. I buried all my secrets in the smiling in the song. Don't think I did it wrong. I found that I am blessed here. I don't regret I'm in the present. Found the time to rest here. My eyes water these rhymes. That's why I call it next here. I blossom all in time. The lessons I collect here. I do feel much obliged to give the mother my ear. Ancestors tell me shine. My demons say I won't dare yet. They boogie to my lines. Yeah, we still carry joy over here. I found that I can fly. I just gotta face my worst fears. They don't believe I'm shy because I sing when I'm scared. Folks don't believe I'm shy because I rap when I'm scared. Folks don't believe I'm shy because I speak when I'm scared. I'm still pretty shy though. That's okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Find the muse and hide the pain. I'm amused, but I'm in pain. We gotta find the muse, hide the pain. I'm amused, but I'm in pain. Find the muse, hide the pain. I'm amused, I'm in pain. Yeah, 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 yeah. Look, I'm in pain, but I'ma ride it out. But I'ma ride it out. I'ma ride it out, even though I'm in pain. Thank you. All right. What we got next? Okay, so yeah, man, we live in America. Oh shit. I don't know if y'all been paying attention. I mean, it's been hard not to, but I've been also trying not to for my peace of mind. Trump has been winning how many caucuses and shit all over the country, and I'm just confused. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just, at this point, I'm just like, I don't understand like how we got here, how we're here, how we're doing this again. There's mass genocides that have been happening all over the world, but there's one that's definitely, been, I think, getting more attention as it deserves, right? It's been happening for quite some time, for far too long. And, it's just interesting to me, the shit that we're going through in this world and in this country. It's interesting to me that, when I was a little kid, when I was in school, what was taught to me about this particular country was that there was a group of people that, got on some boats and, they came to this land because they were fleeing religious persecution. That's what I was told. Anybody heard similar stories? Like that's what we were told, right? Okay. And so, I just, we look at what's going on in Palestine. And I'm like, yo, we've been here before, fam. We've been here before. And it's like I can hear the land acknowledgements being written in preparation for that occupied land to fully become Israel. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like I stand here in America and we talk about the people, the mass genocide that took place on this land. And we write acknowledgments about it. And then we just keep the shit going. You know what I'm saying? And I'm baffled. But, we continue, I think it's important that we continue to pay attention, to speak to our leadership, to follow the youth, man, because the babies are doing some things right now. You know what I'm saying? They are making their voices known. They are making it heard. They are letting us know what we got to do different. And I think it's important that we listen. And let's continue to write and speak about what we need to speak about. I wrote this poem, America, 8 years ago. It's America, a.k.a. Reasons, and it's sort of a love poem to America. So here it is. 1492. I can think of 1492 reasons why we never worked, America. Why broken promises made up the pillow on which I cried myself to sleep, dreaming that just maybe there wouldn't be a 1493, but now I'm at about 2024, and my pillow is so drenched in tears, so you're wondering why I feel so down, wondering why I always seem to bring up the past when the only present you seem to offer me is consistency. America, you promised me that you would change. You promised that the seeds of greed and hatred that was sown into this foundation would be uprooted and destroyed. Your vows were supposed to be self-evident. But words etched in stone are irrelevant, especially when bars are built around them, locking up all of your unwanted children born out of your love affair with profits and convenience, your love affair that I have inherited, because anything that you have loved, you have plundered. This land, my body, my culture, you promised me that you would change. But your amendments have amended nothing but semantics, making change that's senseless, systematically built on inflated promises and nothing but your word. I'm sorry, but I don't buy it. America, I'm trying, but I should have believed you the first time when you manifested a destiny that did not include all of U.S. I think I only love the thought of us. Because when I look back at our history, I realize that there was never really a U.S. to love. America, I would love to say it's not you. It's me. But nah, baby, this shit is you. And I know that they say communication is the key, so I am asking you, I am begging you, when will you unlock these chains? When will you defend me as your own and not just something that you own? Why is freedom only a conversation we can have during our pillow talk? Damn, how do relationships like this even last? They say that communication is key. So America, open up, because I've been looking for a reason to stay. Thanks, y'all. And I'm probably going to leave anyway, to be honest. I've been looking for flights, too. You know what I'm saying? This piece that I'm about to share real quick is specifically about what's going on in Palestine. It's called Rumors. I grew up in the church, so y'all going to hear a lot of, church lingo and Bible verses and stuff like that. But there has always been war and rumors of war, but what about rumors of peace? What about peace? What if that is the good news? What if folks stop spraying bullets and calling them seeds? What if black and brown children everywhere get to grow up to be? What if children everywhere get to grow up? No more violence in that part of the world or that side of the street. We are all connected, a part of God's body, yet we wage unholy wars against each other. What is a mass genocide but an autoimmune disease? Hate spreads like late-stage cancer, causing the whole body to suffer. Free radicals attacking its kin. I pray we find healing before we destroy ourselves completely. I said, I pray we find healing before we destroy ourselves completely. Bless those who have had their land stolen, their people stolen, their bodies stolen, their dreams stolen. Bless those who have been forced to fight for scraps when we live in a world that was designed in abundance, when there is enough for everyone. Bless those who have extended humanity to their oppressors but would no longer be enslaved. Look, I pray your restoration is great. My pen is heavy. My heart is heavy. Witnessing people become what they hate in the name of righteousness. So I'm going to start to spread rumors of peace. And I pray that God hears me. You. I'm talking to all of you. I pray you guys hear me. Thank you. Ooh-wee. Man, this next piece I'm about to share, it's called Stones. I would say this is probably one of my favorite pieces that I've just written in a place where I felt like I really understood myself and understood my connection to this earth and to the world and to the cosmos. And, you know, that when I look into the cosmos, I see reflections of myself. I hope when y'all look into the cosmos, you see reflections of yourself. And when we look at each other, I hope we see reflections of each other and ourselves. So this is a poem about us being connected. And yeah, I hope you enjoy. It's called Stones. We speak to the stones. Wait, hold on, let me stop. Y'all know what I mean by stones, like crystals and shit? Okay, I just wanted to make sure, all right? So everybody in here, you know, I got my hematite and my obsidian and, you know, my I forgot what this is. But, you know, we stay connected, right? So I just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page. We on the same page? Okay, bet. Let's keep going. We speak to the stones, and they listen. We call the earth with fire to provide the most delicate incense and the strongest protections. One smudge and you're hooked. One conversation with the earth and your ancestors come knocking, quenching your sense with memories that tell you that you're home. The stories whisper past us like a cool embrace, like our children reminding us of our great-grandmothers, the ones who taught us to speak to the stones and to follow the birds and to fight for what is sacred and what is sure. We have built other people's empires, bearing witness to our histories being auctioned, histories bought in blood, stories paid for with the human sacrifice of those that remembered their deity. Packaged in cocoa and caramel, sweet like a Jamaican rum cake and spiced horchata, rich in freedom, drenched in melanin, heavy on that secret sauce. Oh yeah, we got the juice. That's what we made under the pressure. That's how we emerge from the greed and the dishonor, making lemonade, sweet tea, sorrel, and ponche, forgetting in those moments that we were the descendants of slaves who spoke to the stones and called on Jesus, using methods that awaken the earth, tribal arrangements, catching the Holy Ghost, dancing like David, the beat, sounding the call from the voice of the ancient. Meet me at the crossroads. Let's get in formation. The change is gonna come, but only if you keep your head up and follow the stars. Listen to the universe. It will remind you of who you are and of what you deserve, and that respect, that might be earned, but freedom, that's taken. It is the holy tongue, our first communion. It is death and life. It is the secret that built the Tower of Babel and the wonders of the world, sacred temples and miraculous births of leaders and warriors returned to accomplish the mission, to carry the torch, to fight the power. Prayer warriors and prophets, healers and seers, rebels, brujas and airbenders, God. Walking freely upon the earth, creating the heavens that we yearn for, that we waste on our tomorrows, that we only visit in our dreams while the soil is begging for us to come home. We are the prodigal sons and daughters, the earth, our mother, crying as we forsake her, haunted by the souls that are indeed praying for us to remember, praying for our awakening and for these chains to stop changing forms, for our flesh to finally find mercy in a world that has used these bodies to build an empire where no colors are allowed. When my two spirits cause me to see visions that have been rebranded as cultural enrichment, I am glorified for my story, but denied for my truth. But look, my life is no one's classroom. My body's no one's to use. My mind, no one's to tame. And the stories of my ancestors murdered, stolen, and raped, their brilliance locked away, their dreams deferred, yet still we emerge as warriors, rulers, goddesses, and high priests, taught to speak to the stones, and they listen. Thank y'all. Remember your power. I got a few more. Is that okay? I got a few more. Is that okay? Yeah. All right. Some of this is new. I got some new shit. Yeah. Okay. OG's in the house. I hear you. And I just be talking shit sometimes. So like, y'all just bear with me, okay? These are untitled. I don't know. I just vibed with them. I didn't pick up the phone when my cousin called. Look, I was going through a breakup and I couldn't fake it all, that my heart was torn apart and I was mad at God. And the last time that cousin called, it was to send me off. See, she called to say she loved me, but she wouldn't approve of the life that I chose to live, broke my spirit in two. I thought that she would understand the need to be free. So when folks ask about these boundaries, ask yourself, why not me? I'm in my land of make-believe where I fought to love myself. And I don't want to cuss your ass out because, man, I love myself. And I will finally defend me like she deserved. So if you fucking with my peace, I'm going to put your ass on the curb. I'm making my dreams happen through sex, drugs, and spoken word. I do what I want. This is a happy ending. Fuck what you heard. I can't be stopped. No, my light is just too absurd. And I won't quit. I'll just heal every time I hurt. I'm in this shit preaching the gospel. Yeah, I got good news. It's okay to protect your mind from people's foolish views. It's okay to give yourself the love you expected them to. And it's okay to change your mind about who's kin to you. Thank you. This is another one where I'm just talking shit. So for those of you that, like go through the process of artistry sometimes, and folks are like, yo, can you send me a headshot and bio and blah, blah, blah. So I've been going through this process of understanding that I need new headshots. So I wrote a poem about it. I need new headshots because I went ahead and got dreadlocks. Chick told me I couldn't be Carrie Joy if I changed my hair. Girl, that's poppycock. I am that I am, and you are just confused. I am that I am. It is not up to you or the media. I am never positioned to lose. Wikipedia do what we tell it to do. Your opinion ain't the news, except for some of them that choose to believe anything the preachers say and call it truth, including me. I'm talking about any preacher. Yeah, I'm talking about me too. So I need new headshots. So if I come up missing, y'all know I look different. And when you put together the search party, make sure there's food options that include vegan. I have people that love me that are not meat eating, and I want to be found by the weekend, so I need new headshots. I probably need some new poses too. I'm never sure what to do with my hands, and my steel blue is starting to give me wrinkles. So damn, I need new headshots. And for a minute or two, I did think about Botox. I'm just being real. But they said once you pop, you just can't stop, so I'll just keep it real. But I need new headshots because I went ahead and got dreadlocks. And within the first month, I almost cut them all off. I thought I couldn't be Carrie Joy without them, but I was just confused. I am that I am, and I am written in history books. But those history books still need new headshots. Thank you. Oh, man. This next one I'm about to do, I'm almost done, y'all. Like I said, thank y'all for bearing with me as I'm up here talking shit. It's my favorite thing to do. This piece is called Home. It's really short, but it's for anybody that is learning to find home where they need to find home. I have learned to find home anywhere, in a cup of tea, a walk, the body of a poem, the wings of a song. I sway between the strums and rhythm, rest within the cadence, move with fire to the beat. Call it survival, call it gratitude, call it power, call it self-care, call it patterns or coping. All I know is I have learned to rest, to believe that I am deserving of putting things down and maybe never picking them up again. Thanks, y'all. I'm gonna do one more and get out the way. Cool. Like I said earlier, I'm an educator, so you gonna learn today a little something, okay? A little something. It's Black History Month. Oh, y'all got quiet. It's Black History Month. So I figured I would do a poem that celebrates Blackness. Yeah. This piece is called I'm Rooting for Everybody Black. It's probably, it's like one of my oldest pieces. But anybody in here a fan of Issa Rae? Hey, that's the homie. Well, almost. We gonna be homies one day. You heard me, Issa. All right, we gonna be homies one day. We gonna work together one day. But this piece was inspired by her. I just wanted to give a quick plug. Y'all please feel free to follow me on all social media. It's Carrie Joy. That's KerrieJoy. I gotta thank my mom and my daddy for that name. And y'all just continue to share good love, share the gospel, share good truth. And when I say the gospel, I mean good news, like actual good news, like real good news. You dig? All right, cool. But yeah, so this is I'm Rooting for Everybody Black, and I'll be out of here. All right, Jules? On September 17, 2017 in Los Angeles, California, a phrase was said that rang throughout the sound waves of every cell phone, tablet, and computer across the world. It was on this day that my idol, Issa Rae, when approached with the question, who were you rooting for at that year's Emmy Awards, proceeded to answer as such, and I quote, I'm rooting for everybody black. I really am, end quote. Well, it was in this moment that I felt transported to my youth. The very first time that I truly recognized my blackness, this scarlet letter burned into my flesh, as if melanin was a poison that I had no choice but to drink, and the sins of the world saturated my skin because I damn sure didn't ask to be black. But yet, here I am. A little girl looking into the world, hoping to find a reflection of herself only, to be met with a glass ceiling on which I saw the soles of the feet of people dancing upon my dreams, dressed in the latest privilege, a brand that many refuse to admit they inherently own. But when black children are suspended because their hair is considered a distraction, the standard is quite clear. And when black-sounding names are met with more suspicion and less distinction than their white counterparts, the standard is quite clear. Our very existence is questioned. We can't have the hair on our own heads, the fullness of our lips, or the thickness of our hips. But then again, it becomes a fashion trend when it's inappropriately appropriated. Selling melanin $30 for an hour session or $500 for lip injections. Meanwhile, all our lives we had to fight for this to simply be okay. For my right to simply take up space without being of service, of entertainment, or being considered a threat. So listen. I'm rooting for everybody black because I remember that Hattie McDaniel, the very first black woman to win an Oscar, was let into the all-white award ceremony only as a favor. I'm rooting for everybody black because I remember that even the 44th president of these United States, Mr. Barack Obama, was still only seen by many as a nigger. I'm rooting for everybody black because I resent the allegation that affirmative action might be the root cause of my success, when it is simply there to assure that my magic is acknowledged, my magic, that dynasties before me have poured into my eloquence because as a black woman, speaking black has become something that I do with pride. Because some of the earliest of languages were birthed in the land from which my ancestors were stolen. So my vocabulary and my intelligence in no way deny my blackness. And my occasional to frequent use of ebonics, they don't deny my intelligence. So listen. I'm rooting for everybody black because I'm sure that 8 of the Little Rock 9 that are still alive today would be happy to educate you on why we so resiliently created a language of our own, as a proper education was always reserved for folks that didn't look like me. So I'm rooting for everybody black because as we infiltrate spaces that used to be deemed white only, I am telling you that you have always deserved to be there. You can compete with anybody. So I'm rooting for you to show up. I'm rooting for you to break every glass ceiling and challenge every opposition, because when the next generation of little boys and little girls realize that they are black, I want them to realize it with pride, dignity, and hope for their futures. Their lives do not have to be a tragedy. I want them to wear this skin, this scarlet letter, like a badge of honor, because listen, black people, we do miracles. We walk on water. Held up by the sea of beautiful black bodies that came before us, we raise the dead, because living within us is the strength and resilience of those ancestors. So you define yourself. You're not the stereotype of your hip-hop culture. You're not a monolith. Yet every color of the black rainbow, every tint and every hue, is you deserve to be your own, not a burden to your race to explain away your individuality, but you're beautiful and unique, and I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you because you was smart, you was kind, and you was important. I'm rooting for you because you are elegant and you are divine. I'm rooting for you because you are soulful and brilliant. You are loud and boisterous. You are meek and socially awkward. You are creative and you are unparalleled. I'm rooting for you because black bodies like ours are still being sold as chattel today. So I'm rooting for you to emancipate yourself from mental slavery so that we can all remove those chains. I am rooting for you. The next Martin Luther King, the next Maya Angelou, the next Lauryn Hill, the next Franz Fanon. I'm rooting for you. The next Chadwick Boseman, the next Tessa Thompson, the next Nello, the next Neil deGrasse Tyson. I'm rooting for you to be the next you, baby, to be the only you. And to make sure that your world will never forget your name. I said, make sure your world will never forget your name. I said, make sure your world will never forget your name. My name is Carrie Joy. Thank y'all so much for being here with me tonight, for being here as I was just talking some good shit. And I hope that something, anything, one thing that I said tonight resonated with you. God bless. Be safe. Peace.
Keep giving it up for Carrie Joy, Poet Laureate of Adams County, El Pagliacci de la Notte, Clown of the Night. Yes, keep writing, keep being that primary source, keep imagining. Thank you for pointing to that. Like, we have to imagine a world that we want to live in our heads first if we want to see it in front of us. All right, so keep imagining, keep writing, keep sharing it, keep loving. I'm going to go down the list. I'm going to remind us all of who was here and give us their Instagrams if they have them or their handles. So we had Charlie El Calibri at Aztec King 365, Angela Hamill at Art Theologian, Matthew at Heart underscore Concentric, Sappho does not have any social, but you could get with them, they said. And Cole at 000, Cole 000, Chelsea West at Your Friend underscore Chels, Fernando Gomez at Gomez.Fernie with a Y at the end. Dr. Lizzie at Dr. Lizzie Lois. Yeah. Nello at gr.nello. You did not. You signed up on accident. Yeah. TaylorMade at TaylorMade Poetry. Taylor is spelled Taelor. Made Poetry. I don't have socials, but you can also get my email or my phone number. And, of course, Carrie Joy. At Carrie Joy, yeah? At Carrie Joy on all the socials. So thank y'all for being here. Follow Sacred Voices at Sacred Voices Denver. Keep up with us at sacred-voices.org. And hope to see y'all and bring some youth next time, yeah? All right, peace.
Also, high announcement. If you were sitting in a chair, could you stack that chair, please?
Daddy. Is that river, the bar called